Hey everybody. It's kind of been a rainy week, hasn't it? That's not always fun, but it is what it is. Sunday isn't much different, just more rain. Sometimes when I'm bored or I need some time to think to myself and talk to God and stuff, I like to come out into the woods, and there's a bunch of dead pine trees that I decided to take down one by one. There's my faithful servant. Oh, where'd she go? There she is. Allie. I really wouldn't call her my servant, more like my mascot. You're awesome, Allie. So I found this tree and decided to take it down. And I do it with an axe, just not to prove anything, but, well, I guess not to prove anything to anybody but myself. And basically it's just on top of getting a great workout and falling a tree, and you get a high from that. I've fallen a few trees before. I've felled some trees. I think it's felled. Anyway, I've cut down some trees before, maybe a dozen with an axe. This is probably one of the bigger ones I've ever done. Just like I said, I've been cutting down dead pine trees and making room for the walnuts to grow and get the sunlight. Not that they're definitely taller than the walnuts now, or the pine now, but anyway, so I get a good workout. This one was an especially good workout because although I've cut down a few trees with an axe, and I know somewhat you make a back cut kind of in the direction you want the tree to fall, I'm not a professional, and I know that. So I made my back cut on this tree, wanting it to go that way, kind of between that tree and that tree. That's where I wanted it to go. But as is life, things don't always go the way you expect them to. I cut this tree, I got the back cut, and I got the front part of the cut. I got this back cut right here, got the front cut, whatever you want to call it. I'm just making up terminology that may not be right. And I heard it snap, and I ran, because that's what you do. You try to make a clear area. Not that I did that. You're trying to clear up an area of where you're going to run when it starts falling, just in case. You never know. And it landed right on that tree right there. Landed on it. And so it was at an angle. Lands right on it. Land on some of those limbs up there. Normally I probably would have tried to push it over, but that wasn't happening. This is a decent sized tree, and the stump still had some girth to it, and I'm no Hercules, so I was just gonna leave it there and hope that some heavy wind would knock it down, or a storm, whatever would do the job for me. But I don't know, I know this may sound silly to some people, but I felt like God wanted me to keep chopping away at it, because that's life. When things don't go your way, it can be demoralizing. It can just get you down if you let it. And I'm not trying to say my life has been like that lately, but maybe it has, in ways. But I just felt like he wanted me to keep chopping away at it. So I chopped this chunk down to try to make it fall, and maybe some inertia would knock it out. That didn't work. So I cut that one down, and then I cut this chunk down. So 1, 2, then I cut this chunk down. So that's a third chunk, and then one last cut. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total cuts to bring this tree down. And after the first time, I was just like, you know what, never mind. I'm not. And I decided to try to push it. That wasn't working. I got it rocking a little bit, but I wasn't gonna do the job. So I chopped it again and again and again, just like you need to do when life doesn't go the way that you feel it should. Not that we should be resisting what God may want us to endure, because I believe God wants us to be of good character, and if you want good character, unfortunately the best way to get it is through hardships. Not always, but I've found that hardships do create some character if you are willing to let God, get into the deep soil of your life and work. And this isn't a video to try to say, hey, look at me, I knocked this tree down and I cut it 5 times. In all reality, that's embarrassing, because I've cut down a few trees before. I should know how to do it by now, but it didn't go to plan. So God was just telling me, and I felt like I should let everybody know that when life gets you down, you can't stay down. You can't set up camp on the ground. You cannot do that unless you want to be in a funk for the rest of that season of your life before you decide to stand up and move forward. So I don't know if this video is gonna have any impact on anybody. If it doesn't, if you even watch the whole thing, I'm going on 7 minutes now. It's a pretty long video, I know, but I think God just wants us to know that it's not a one-way road. He's not going to do all the work for you. I don't believe he is. I think it's two-way, You do a part, and then he meets you and gives you strength, whether, in this case, it was just physical strength. I didn't need any emotional strength. Well, maybe I did a little. He'll give you the strength you need if you ask for it. There's actually a time when I was trying to rock this thing off of here that I asked God, give me Samson's strength. Well, he didn't, and that's fine. I just think this was a learning experience for myself, and I believe it can be a learning experience for some others. When life doesn't fall the way you expect it to, first off, ask God, what's going on? Can I change something? I need to be changed. I know that. God, either help me change it or just take the reins and do the changing yourself. Which is probably the best thing to ask, because when we try to change it, it normally doesn't go very well. Like me trying to shake the tree. No, I had an axe. Got an axe. Use the tools that God gives you. Sometimes the tools aren't always honed and sharpened, but that's what life is for. Honing and sharpening. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So if you watched the whole video, I really appreciate it. And if if not, obviously you're not going to see this part of the video. But thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope somehow this has brought maybe some clarity to somebody, or maybe you're going through something. I don't know. Anyway, love you guys.